Hi everyone, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. I'm an American expat living in Malaysia and I'd like to share my life and travels with you. Well, today I'm going to take you to Siem Reap, Cambodia. I've been twice before, so I managed this time to spend a whole week there without seeing any of the temples. Go figure. Sound interesting? Stay tuned. Well, I don't want to give anyone the impression that I'm not interested in the beautiful temples in Siem Reap, because I am. But I have been twice before and really researched them extensively and toured many of them. So this time I thought I would just focus on visiting my friends Jeremy and Claire from Riel. You all probably seen their interview. But we hit it off so much that they invited me to come visit them in Cambodia, and I just jumped at the chance. They have a lovely place, and they offered to let me stay there in one of the bedrooms, but I sort of prefer when I go on vacation to stay in a hotel and not impose on people. Like I've said before, it's less than a 2-hour flight, so it just seems like you're there in no time at all. As I was flying in, I noticed how green and beautiful everything was. Just look in these pictures. It's just amazing. It's just green as green can be. But that's because it's the rainy season. Now, Jeremy and Claire had warned me about the rainy season and said, oh my gosh, you can look forward to some rain while you're here. But you know what? I live in Malaysia, and I'm used to rain just about any time. But luckily, it turned out I didn't have a lot of rain while I was there. I really lucked out. And if you can avoid the rain, then it's going to be a perfect time to visit Cambodia, because it's cooler, everything's so lush and green, and as long as you don't get rained on too much, it's going to be a nice time to go. It's considered low season, so the hotels aren't full and the restaurants aren't full, and it's just easy to get around too. Well, I took a tuk-tuk in from the airport. Everybody knows what they are, but I'll show a picture of one here. And it's only about a 20-minute ride. Now, this is something that Jeremy and Claire have told me about. This will be my last flight to Cambodia at the old airport, which is fine, and it seems to just be the right size for Siem Reap. But someone got in their brain to build a brand new, huge international airport an hour outside of town. So that's going to make it much less pleasant to go visit there. For one thing, I wouldn't want to take a tuk-tuk for an hour to my hotel. Anyway, I'm sure they'll work that out one way or another. They'll have buses or some other way to get there. But still, an hour, come on, 15 minutes is so much better. So I arrived at the hotel before 9 a.m. and they apologized that my room wasn't ready. Can you imagine? Usually they don't care if it's ready or not. They make you wait till 2 or 3 in the afternoon. But not this place. They said, well, give us about an hour and we'll have it ready. So I went to have breakfast in the lovely little glassed-in restaurant, and I contacted Jeremy and Claire to let them know I was there. Well, by the time I finished breakfast and by the time Jeremy and Claire arrived, my room was ready. I think it was around 10 a.m., maybe a little after, and they let me go up, so I took them up to show them the room. And here I'll give you a little tour of the hotel. Now, the room wasn't anything special, but it was lovely and clean and comfortable, and had really good aircon, which is important in Cambodia. The bathroom was small but tasteful, as you can see here. And it had a little balcony too, but I must admit it was so hot I never went out there. Now, my room had a lovely view over the pool, and I think the pool is the highlight of this hotel. It's so tastefully done. Just look at this, the loungers with the umbrellas and the gorgeous little tiki hut in the corner that's a bar. It's just really lovely. And even the way they fold the towels and put them on the chairs with a little flower on them. Just a nice little extra touch, I think. And it makes you feel like you're in a 5-star hotel instead of a 3-star hotel. The lobby could use a little fixing up and the halls were a little drab. But other than that, it was just perfectly fine. And I think I only paid about $39 a night US, so you can't complain about that. The hotel had several pluses, but there were a couple minuses, very small things, I think. But the hallways outside the rooms really could be refurbished and weren't light enough. They were sort of drab looking. The lobby could use a little freshening up, and they need Wi-Fi to cover you at the pool, or at least at the pool bar. And as we found out quickly enough from going to happy hour there, The bar really needs some fans too. We had them bring one out every night while we were there, but they should have them in the ceiling. It would be much nicer. But other than that, it's just a lovely little hotel. It's called Siem Reap, and it's a very convenient location. It's only a block further down the road than the Raffles. And I'd say no more than a kilometer to like Pub Street and all the nightlife there in Siem Reap. So after I got unpacked and everything, Jeremy and Claire came to pick me up, and we went into the city and had a lovely dinner at this place right on the river, just across the street. It's just beautiful. I didn't get much footage there, but it's a charming place with very good food and a casual atmosphere. I had beef carpaccio, which was one of the best I've ever had, really. And like everything in Siem Reap, it's very affordable, as are the cocktails, which is a refreshing change from Malaysia, let me tell you. The next morning, Jeremy and I went out and got a helmet for me so that I could ride one of their bikes while they rode on the other one. Then we could get out of town on our bikes and see things that nobody sees, or hardly anyone anyway. We went back and got Claire and had lunch at the Muffin Man, another wonderful little bakery and restaurant. Look how charming it looks. And would you take a look at this sandwich? Wow. I only had half of it because they have such good New York style cheesecake there that I was determined to have some of that, which you can see here, and it had a delicious, delicious passion fruit glaze on it. But the sandwich was big enough that I took half of it back to my room and had the other half of it as a midnight snack that night. So that night, Jeremy and Claire decided to show me more of the tourist side of Siem Reap at night. We started out at this charming old wooden Cambodian home that had been rebuilt right in the middle of town and made into a bar. It was just charming, as you can see here in these pictures. My goodness, we really enjoyed it. So we had a couple drinks there, then we went out to find Pub Street. You know, and even though I had been there before, I don't really think I saw Pub Street, because it's just bright lights everywhere and bars and loud. It's just not really my style, but it's fun to see, I'll say that. We had a drink near Pub Street on a sidewalk cafe, and that was fun. Afterwards, they took me shopping through the Central Market. And it's interesting. Oh, of course, it has all the really junky tourist stuff, but they did have some beautiful things too. I ended up getting these two beautiful silver-plated boxes there, which is common of the handiwork in Cambodia. Now, they weren't cheap, but I was able to bargain with them a little bit, or I should say Jeremy bargained for me. Got the price down a little bit, and that was nice. The third one you see in the picture here, the one that's sort of gourd shape, I bought at the museum gift shop. After a little bit of shopping, we went to a Mexican place and had some tacos, and they were delicious too. I don't think I have any pictures of those. The next day, Claire had to work, so the boys went out, me and Jeremy. First, we went to get hamburgers at Jungle Burger, and it was really good, and quite a cute place too. I just couldn't get over how many nice restaurants there are in Siem Reap. So trendy and fun, and different concepts for food too, which I'll get into later. But we had our burgers, then we went across the street and got our haircuts. So that's the first time I've had a haircut in Cambodia, and I think they did a decent job, but I think they took a little bit too much off Taylor's beard. What do you think? Well, after lunch, as became a routine every day, we all went back to our own places and took a nap. It's just sort of the way of life there. You know, you get warm going out in the morning, you have lunch, you come home and take a little siesta, and then get up and ready to take on the evening. It's a way of life. Well, that night we went to a little temple that's just a block away from Jeremy and Claire's home. Now, I did say at the beginning of this video that I didn't go to any temples this time, but this one doesn't really count because it was just a little neighborhood temple. But look at the pictures here. I mean, it was gorgeous on its own right. There are just thousands, it seems like, around. I mean, maybe thousands is exaggerating, but I don't know. Claire, if you know, correct me if there's thousands or just hundreds. But there's a lot of temples there, that's what I can say. Then we went to this beautiful hotel and restaurant just right across from their house called Amat Khmer. We had very delicious, interesting cocktails there before dinner, as you can see here. Even the menu was special and beautiful. Then we had dinner there, and it was a Khmer dinner, Cambodian cuisine. I started with a prawn salad, and then I had a pork and noodle dish. We skipped dessert that night and just had an early evening. One funny thing that happened during our cocktails there, and it happened a few times there, and I'm sure it's just something to do with moisture or something, but look at it. I call it the haunted beer can, and it happened more than once. And Cambodians are very superstitious, so they might think the can is actually haunted. It actually looks like it, don't you think? The next morning, Claire and I went out to this Themes Gallery, a privately run gallery from someone who helped start the Artisans to Angkor project, which creates traditional arts and trains people to do it. But this place was amazing. Now, they have a small entrance fee, but it's worth it. This place is so special, I want to give it its own little video montage. I think you'll agree, it's an amazing place. And the artwork shown is done by the artist that runs the place. And the cats are there all the time, so it's a wonderful added treat too. So enjoy. After that, we went back home, and I had lunch at my hotel and my usual nap in the afternoon. And then we were going to meet up with some other YouTubers at this rooftop bar overlooking the river. It's called La Riviera, I think, and it's part of a hotel, recently taken over by some Australians. Well, the rooftop bar is lovely and has wonderful breezes and beautiful views. You can see here all around. And look at the pool here that's part of the hotel part of it. It looks like a really nice place to stay. I think it's probably 5 stars. But the other YouTubers came. We had a lot of drinks and a lot of fun that night, as you can see in this picture. It does look like we're having fun, doesn't it? Get some YouTubers together and you're gonna have fun. The next day we took the motorcycles out to the reservoir there, and it's beautiful and calming. As you can see here, it just goes on forever, and it is the water supply for Siem Reap. And I think because it's rainy season, the water's really high now, because Jeremy and Claire said in the dry season, there's virtually no water in it at all, which must be awful. But it was a beautiful ride out there. It was out past the airport, a very nice little ride. I told Jeremy after riding the motorcycle a little bit in Siem Reap that you feel like you're playing chicken a bit. You come up to the intersection and you're just not sure what the other people are going to do, and you just have to try to figure it out and who goes when. It's very unorganized, but it seems to work somehow. After our ride out there, we went to have a wonderful brunch at the FCC, and that's the Foreign Correspondents Club. It's a wonderful restaurant. I think it might be a hotel too. You see the entrance here, it's very nice, and then you go up the stairs to the restaurant, and it's just beautiful and open with these louvered windows and the breeze coming in, and the food was amazing. It's what they call a la carte there, which is totally different meaning than a la carte to me. but it means you can get anything and everything on the menu that you want for one price, which I believe was $15, which in Siem Reap is a lot of money, but if you load up, it's going to be worth it. I unfortunately didn't eat that much, but it was still lovely and I enjoyed it a lot. Well, I had a simple dinner that night at my hotel, a Cambodian red curry, which was good and it tasted fine, but not spicy at all and not at all like a Thai red curry. So I was a little disappointed in it, but it still tasted good and I enjoyed it. Well, like I said, I had really good weather, but the next day it started out being rainy. So Claire warned me that I would get a day like that. And you know what I used it for? To make a YouTube video for you guys, which was last week's video. And that was nice because if it hadn't rained, I don't know when I would have had time to do it. So I hope you enjoyed that video about how easily accessible Southeast Asia is from Kuala Lumpur. That night we went back into town and had dinner at a place called Wild. Well, I don't know that there's anything much wild about it, but it was so nice. As you can see here, it has all this grass out front and you'd sit around at these tables, very, very casual. And they pretty much only serve egg rolls and spring rolls. Well, when Claire told me about that, I thought, well, gee, that doesn't sound that great. But they take a really different take on all of them. They have a spring roll that's not fried, that tastes just like a Caesar salad. It has chicken and lettuce inside and maybe some bacon. And then they slice it and then you dip it into the Caesar dressing and into these little breadcrumbs that makes it like the croutons. It's amazing, and it was just like a Caesar salad. We also had one that had raclette in it, which is a cheese, a Swiss cheese, I think, and it was yummy too with little ham bits. Really good. We had some fried potatoes with it, and then we also had dessert ones. They were amazing. We just had the pineapple caramel ones. Now those were deep fried, but yummy with 2 different sauces you could put on them. I highly recommend Wild. We went there again before I left because I liked it so much. Then we had a pleasant tuk-tuk ride back to the hotel. It's just so magical at night in Siem Reap. It seems lively and things are going on, but it has a very safe feeling too. I didn't feel nervous or scared about anything the whole time I was there. Well, the next morning we got up, got on our motorcycles, and rode very far out of town to a little village that Jeremy and Claire have highlighted before. But I told them I had to go there because I'd seen Jeremy eat this banana fritter there, and it looked amazing. So they took me all the way out there just so I could have these banana fritters. Well, the place they normally go to, theirs weren't that good. So we had to buy more, fresh ones, and they were crispy and delicious, as you can see here in this picture. They were yummy and worth the ride out there. So we were finished fairly early from that ride, so I didn't have anything to do, so I went to the museum across the street. Just directly across the street from my hotel. Couldn't be more convenient. And if you want to see a lot of the beautiful artifacts from the area there, just go to the museum and you can see it in air-conditioned comfort and not have to climb all over the ruins, which is tiring for old folks like me. I'll do a little montage here of the museum because it had a lot of beautiful things too. Hope you enjoy. So after that, I was on my own for lunch, and I thought, well, I can get into town by myself. So I took a tuk-tuk down, and I went to the restaurant Olive on Olive Street that I had been to 7 years ago when I was there with my sister. I was surprised it was still there in some ways because, you know, in a holiday place, things don't always last forever, but it was still there, and it was just as good as it was the first time I went there with my sister. It's a lovely splurge, let me tell you. Beautiful service, gorgeous restaurant, and the food was to die for. If you're in Siem Reap, I would check out Olive. That night, we were just going to be low-key, and we went back to Jeremy and Claire's house and had pizza and drinks on their beautiful rooftop. I don't know that you can get a good feel for it here in these pictures, but it's beautiful and very large, and a nice breeze up there. We had a wonderful evening, and I really think their house is beautiful. The next day, Jeremy and Claire had told me about this friend of theirs, Evan, who runs several hotels and restaurants in Cambodia. Most in Siem Reap, I think, but there is one in Phnom Penh. But anyway, we rode out to one of his properties and met him there. They were lovely. They greeted us and brought us juice and fruit and stuff, and we did a little filming there. I don't know if you all remember, but if you can remember when Jeremy and Claire were here, I promised that they were going to do an interview with Taylor, where Claire interviews Taylor. Well, she did while they were here. Somehow, I don't know, the footage got deleted. Very frustrating, I'll say. But we recreated it. She had the same questions, and we did it there at this beautiful hotel. Please look forward to that, because that'll be coming up soon. And you'll learn a little bit more in depth about Taylor. Some secrets, maybe. Well, this place is called Isann Lodge, and it's very affordable, too. Now, I would stay there if I had my own transportation, because it's about a 10-15 minute ride outside of town, but not too far from the temples. So if you're just there to do the temples, you could probably stay there, but you'd need your own transportation. And I'm sure, yes, you could get a tuk-tuk, but it is kind of far out. But beautiful, serene, just gorgeous. I think I might stay there a couple nights next time I go. You can see here I photographed one of the rooms, and just the property itself is just stunning. So tropical, so calming. After that, we went back for lunch at Wild, where we'd been before, but boy, was it good. I had the Greek one this time. It had feta cheese, and it didn't have any meat in it, but it was still really good. But I think I prefer the one that Claire likes, her favorite, the Caesar salad one. So that night, I wanted to take them somewhere special to thank them for their hospitality for while I was there. Boy, Jeremy and Claire, I can't thank you enough. You just went out of your way to make sure I had a great time, and it showed me the insider's view of Siem Reap, which is so special. I really feel like I know Siem Reap better now, and I really want to visit it way more often, that's for sure. It's just so charming. So we went to the Angkor Village Hotel, which is a 5-star hotel, and the restaurant was incredible too. Now, I didn't get much pictures of the food, if any, I think just the dessert. But look at these beautiful views around the hotel. Just stunning. And it's in the heart of the city, but it's like a little oasis. Now, I think I probably can't afford to stay there, but maybe for a splurge sometime I might stay there a couple nights. Who knows? So the next morning it was raining when I went to the airport to leave, and I was sad to leave, but a whole week in Siem Reap is a long time. Most people just stay 2 or 3 days, I'd say, and just cram in all the temples and as much as they can in those few days. I preferred having a leisurely time there, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm really going to go back real soon, too. Jeremy and Claire are already planning what I can do next time. So I hope you enjoyed this sort of food-related tour of Siem Reap. But everyone shows the temples. You can see those anywhere. Where else can you get just Taylor's impression of Siem Reap? But right here. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And check the notification bell too so you won't miss any of my future videos. Well, as you can probably hear, I still have the lingering effects of my cold. It's much better now. But hopefully by next week's video, it will be completely gone. But thanks everyone for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.